Much like when a player tries to play an elaborate back pass and cocks the whole thing up, this is First Time Ball, a brand new football sports podcast weekly. We're going to dive right in. We're going to bring you news, reactions, all that good, tasty shit. My name is Owen. With me are Shane and Adam. We'll be here regularly, we hope. And, fantastic day for us to start. We know it's the middle of the season. This episode, we're going to bring you our team of the season so far. And things might get heated. We're not certain. Things also got heated in the Champions League draw earlier today, which was fitting for our first episode. A massive fucking cock-up.
A shit show.
Yeah. Just miserable altogether, really, wasn't it? UEFA's shenanigans were really on show for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Jesus. So if anyone didn't see it, UEFA did the Champions League draw for the round of 16, and apparently, according to them, their computer system that they use to inform the people making the draw live which teams are ineligible to be drawn against each other just made a hems of it, and they pulled United out against Villarreal, I think, first, even though they were in the group together. And then they went, oh, no, sorry, we'll redo that. And then forgot to put United back in the draw against Atletico.
Yeah.
United got drawn against PSG, which was Messi versus Ronaldo, which is definitely what UEFA wanted.
Guaranteed
in the first
money.
place. Because, two greatest footballers of all time, probably. Yeah, nailed on money. PSG, United, Messi, Ronaldo. But that didn't work out. Atletico, among others, were immediately on the blower. Atletico, I think, tweeted and said, listen, Diego Simeone is going to 2-foot Andre Arshavin if he doesn't redo this draw. And Arshavin shat himself and said, all right, fine. We'll do it again. So they redid it. Are we happier with our first draw or our second draw?
Second draw for me. I didn't want PSG are just such a fucking, you don't know what you're getting with them, but it would be a game and no control. It would be 4-3, 5-4, and I just don't want that. Atletico will be a boring game. It'll be probably a 1-0 each leg or something, which I can deal with rather than watching a 4-3. And that United's defense, I just think Atletico we have a better chance of getting through, I think, than we do with PSG. But
yeah,
Atletico are because we had them in the group, obviously Liverpool, and they're not the team they used to be. Even 2 years ago when they knocked us out of the Champions League, they weren't. They were a good team then. They're still absolute shit houses for the whole thing. But they're not
even when we played them last year.
That they were.
Yeah, the only thing is February.
A couple of years ago.
February's a long time away as well, I think. So looking at that, they'll be a lot more organised by then than they are now. So most teams are after Christmas. So I think they'll be a different team than what you played. But again, I'd prefer to have them than
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They don't. Atletico don't have a lot about him for me, to be honest.
Since he moved to Barcelona, he's never done much.
Shite.
He kind of was he had that honeymoon phase at the start, but then after that, he didn't do a whole lot for Barcelona, and I thought that move back to Atletico was a step backwards.
No,
rather than it was more like a cushion for him to fall back on.
It was, do you know what it was? It was Robbie Keane moving to Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that was. Benitez signed Robbie Keane. He bought him for Liverpool. Bought him off Spurs for 23, 24 million, which is a lot of money at the time. Played I think he played 16 or 17 games, scored 5 or 6 goals.
Yeah.
Wasn't on, he didn't set the league on fire or anything, but he wasn't shocking. Didn't get on with Benitez, and then we sold him back to Spurs 6 months later for the exact same money that we paid for him. So I think is what happened with Griezmann. Went to Barca, just went, nah, Barca are kind of shit now. Not having a great time. Just went back to Atletico.
the money he was on was...
He was on 700 grand a week or something ridiculous, wasn't it?
That's...
yeah, something like that was, yeah.
Yeah, something outrageous. I think that's part of the way Barca had to clean house as well in the summer. They had to drop, so they got rid of Messi, got rid of Griezmann, Suarez, and they're still stuck. They still have the likes of like Coutinho and Dembele, who are useless and are on stupid money. Like,
but
Ike like took a 50% wage cut or something, didn't he? Or something
talk
mad
about
as well.
the shit show that's Barcelona all day. But how are you happy with your results? Like, obviously Chelsea got Lille twice, so I don't know how to pull that one out. But Liverpool got difficult. Well, not difficult. I think you'll turn over in Inter, but
fixed.
You got a tougher second round game than you would have liked to say, but not that tough either.
Yeah, Salzburg are not a bad team either. Like, we played them. No, was it last year or the year before? They done all right against us. Like, I think that's why we ended up buying Minamino. But like, they're not a terrible team. But obviously, you'd prefer them over Inter. Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't think we really realistically. I don't think there's many teams in the draw that we would have been afraid of. Really, not like they're not really the way we're playing it at the moment. And like your Real Madrids and Barcelona,
neither team are what they used to be.
They're all shite now, really. Like, so, there's nobody really. Bayern Munich are the only one I think that
That's all I said this morning.
Drawn against,
as long as it's not Bayern, I was happy.
Every team would have complained if they got Bayern. Yeah. Yeah. So other than that, I suppose it's grand. Like, Inter are all right. I suppose. Like, I mean.
Well, they've lost Eriksen and Lukaku from last season as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's true as well. They're kind of.
Yeah, Conte didn't heard about when Lukaku left. He was told he wasn't allowed to spend any more money. And that's why he was kind of like, yeah, no, I'm out. Yeah, went to Spurs and realised how shit they were.
Cleaning you out, lads. Cleaning you out, right? I have enough of this Dele Alli shite now. Knocking about the place.
We'd be stupid not to get this on recording while we're here. Who were you backing for the Champions League? And as much as this hurts me to say it, I can't look past Liverpool at the minute, to be honest. The way you ran through that group, and that group was the group of death. Christ, like. So I think, like, my money, if I was backing now, I'd be backing Liverpool.
I'd be backing Liverpool as well. I wouldn't go that far now.
It's a treble season.
No,
I wouldn't go that far. I don't know, to be honest. I think, like, as well as Liverpool did in the group stages, like, Bayern and Ajax also won all their games in their groups as well. So, like, it's hard to say, like, Bayern are just an unbelievable. They're just a machine at this stage. Like, they're just crazy how good they are. And they'll miss a couple of, like, Kimmich will be a loss now. He's out for the next couple of months because he's a fucking idiot. But I don't know. I'm always reluctant to be like, yeah, we're going to fucking win it. It's
so who are you picking?
Kind of thing, because it always goes back to maybe. Ajax. Dark horse. It's Ajax.
I don't know, but like when you look at Ajax's group,
yeah, put me money on it now.
The only challenging team they had is Dortmund.
Oh, but the turn Dortmund.
I understand that, but like when you look at it, Sporting, they got through just purely because Dortmund didn't perform, and then Besiktas, like, it's not even a team at this rate. I don't even understand how Besiktas get into the Champions League year in, year out. Like, I know I'm assuming they won the Turkish league. I don't know anything about Besiktas. I just know they sign all the dead wood from European teams when they're going for their careers to die, and but I don't know. I just personally think that Ajax didn't exactly have a tough group. It's the same as sorry,
Besiktas, is it? More like Beshit crack.
Anyway, as I was saying, I
really like that one. All right.
I personally don't think Ajax will trouble anybody. If they get past the last 16, I could change or not the last 16, whatever. Fuck, whatever. If they get past this round,
yeah, I think they're impressive, but I do think, I think experience will tell a lot with them now in the next round.
They're a good side. I think they'll go one. I think they'll better their team of a couple of seasons ago. They got knocked out by Spurs in the semis.
No City's the bookies back City is favoured every year.
City are fucking no. How do every single season they may every bookies in the world make City the favourites to win a Champions League, and every single year they bottle it. They're not going to win the Champions League, and if they don't win the Champions League this season, Pep needs to.
Well, he's already on his bike. He's already
tipple off to
up,
PSG or whatever the fuck he wants to do. Go off and
you can.
Yeah, that's what there was talks that City are trying to line up Ten Hag, whatever the fuck, from Ajax as well to replace Pep like in the next season or two. So
I can't imagine Pep staying there much longer. He's not a real like. Besides Barcelona, he doesn't tend to stay at clubs for very long. Like
City's probably the longest he stayed.
Isn't even at Barca that long, really, was he? Yeah, I'd say he's at City longer.
He was at Barca for like 7 or 8 seasons,
realistically. No, I don't think so, because he left Barca and everyone thought, Jesus, he kind of left when they were at their peak, like, and then Luis Enrique came in and got like another 2 seasons out of it. Pep took a year off and then went to Bayern, and Bayern went from the best team in Germany to the best team in Germany. He didn't really. They kind of just stayed what they were when Pep arrived.
Won Champions League with them though.
Make them that much better.
With who?
Yeah.
Did he?
I thought he did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't win Champions League Bayern. No,
he didn't.
No, he actually progressed.
No, he's only ever won the Champions League with Barca.
Yeah, he regressed actually. He regressed Bayern Munich in Champions League. If anything, to be honest, he got nowhere near the Champions League with Bayern.
Can't win Champions League without Messi, man. It's Pep's problem. He just can't do it. That's why he wanted him at City, I think.
Yeah, he got Grealish though.
Sure, look, that's the Champions League anyway, lads.
Oh, Lord,
do you want to do this? Do this fucking team of the season so far?
It's going to change.
I'll say so far, right? Because obviously it's the middle of the season. We know that, like, it is the middle of the season. But we were aware in doing this that it is halfway point in the season. It's a weird time to jump in and just start chatting about like this week's games or whatever. So we figured it'll be a good intro to us and to the podcast and all that kind of crack. So we've each gone, 3 of us individually. We picked our team of the season. So we'll go through it player by player and see if we can build one at the end, right?
Okay.
I'll have a lineup builder open here in front of me. So as we decide on things, I'll put in players. Now we picked a formation. We went with 4-3-3, because I mean, it's everybody picks 4-3-3 in these teams of the season things. That was kind of just a go-to formation that a lot of teams play now. Jesus Christ, it was tough. Like, so there's a couple of players that I was like, right, he's in the team. Just, that's the end of the story. Like,
there's some of them that haven't nailed down. What way are we going to work it then? Is it going to be that if we're going to go 2v1?
Yeah, there's one or two.
Majority rules.
Yeah, we'll do. So we'll each go. Yeah, so we'll go through player by player. So we'll start at the back, I suppose, and we'll do goalkeeper of the season so far. All right, I'll throw mine out there. Now this one, right? I'm willing to be talked down on this because this was one where I was kind of torn between a couple. I don't know if there's, for me, been like a major standout in goalkeepers really so far this season. So I stayed true to myself, my heart, and I went with Alisson.
I'd love. That's not true.
There you go. Most clean sheets in the league.
Yeah,
it is true.
To be honest, I don't think you can look at
9 clean sheets.
I don't think you can look at clean sheets with this. Like, Liverpool have an unbelievable defence, one of the best in the Premier League. Like, I wouldn't be putting Alisson number 1. I think you can guess who mine's going to be, and it's not just because it's United, because they actually have very little United in this team. But David De Gea is like 3rd most saves in the Premier League this season, and if we hadn't got him this season, we would be probably, I don't even want to think where we are. Like, so I put him in number 1, and I think it's you say Alisson, but like the defense, like he's got Van Dijk in front of him. Like, Christ Almighty, like David De Gea is Harry Maguire. So clean sheets. They go to the keeper and the defence.
Well, I guess we know Harry Maguire is not your pick for centre half. Look, Adam, who's your pick? Adam? Have we each gone for our own team?
Alisson does have the most clean sheets, but he doesn't have 14. He has 9. I thought you said 14.
Yeah, 9 is what I said.
Ederson is 8 and Mendy.
He's 9.
I picked Mendy just purely because he's been the most consistent goalkeeper.
8 or 7.
And I was actually torn between De Gea and Mendy. And obviously I did kind of what you were doing, and I went for the Chelsea player because I think I've watched them. I don't watch enough Liverpool. I don't watch enough United to make. I actually do watch a good bit of United more than Liverpool, so I know that De Gea is unbelievable, and I firmly believe, and this might sound a bit harsh, that United would probably be 10th without De Gea, if not lower. But I couldn't go and look at. I couldn't look at Alisson and say that he is better than De Gea, because De Gea shows that he's... I picked Mendy because I'm a Chelsea fan. Simple as. But if I was to go off of something else, I would say De Gea is a far better goalkeeper than Alisson this season. Because if you put Alisson in goals...
Look at points saved this season. Points. How many points do you reckon Alisson has won over Liverpool? How many games have you been on the ropes that he's pulled you through? David De Gea has 3rd most saves in the Premier League this season. So just put that on paper with Alisson. And I'm not saying Alisson is... he's an unbelievable keeper as well. But look at his defence. Look at his midfield ahead of him. So I just don't think you can ratio the clean sheets to having him the best keeper at the moment in the league.
See, I think we could be caught here because the two I was flip-flopping between were Mendy and Alisson. And the only reason I didn't put Mendy in the team is literally probably it's only a recency thing.
Last 3 or 4 games, he's been dodgy in
3 or 4 games.
Haven't been in the Premier League.
He's had a couple of clangers and...
I didn't say none of them, but I said the majority.
None of them?
The last Champions League game that he played in...
Well, he was...
when they scored that fucking absolute banger of a goal. Are we talking Premier? We're talking Premier League team of the season, yeah.
Talking Premier League, yeah, and I think he was that goal.
That's one mistake out of. In that match, I agree. That was very dodgy.
That's what it came down to. That's what it came down to me between him and. I'm willing to go Mendy.
How has the words De Gea not come out of your mouth? Have you not even acknowledged how good he has been this season, which is a bit ridiculous? I know you're a Liverpool fan, but how have you not even acknowledged?
Because it's the same thing as always with De Gea. It's the same thing as always. De Gea is, on his day, he's a great shot stopper. He has nothing else in his locker. And to be a modern keeper in today's game, you need to have distribution. You need to be able to come and claim crosses. You need to talk to your defence. De Gea doesn't do any of that.
He has been,
and he's also made a couple of absolute clangers this season.
He's made one mistake, one bad mistake this season. I think, to be honest, last season he people were writing him off when he was going up against Henderson, and it was was he number 1? But this season he's been incredible. If you want to look at his stats, his distribution and all as well. All round, he has been incredible this season.
I reckon, right, I'm going to change mine to, if I go with Mendy, Adam goes with De Gea, Shane sticks with De Gea.
Well, I
think it means De Gea gets in the team.
Yeah,
I'm still going with Mendy because I picked him
complete turnaround.
But I was acknowledging that De Gea has had a fantastic season.
Oh, well, Mendy gets in the team.
But in terms of De Gea has a shite defence in front of him, but he's a lot more active. But I think in terms of an overall goalkeeper, I think Mendy is probably the best in the league, easily. And obviously he's had a few bad games and then that save against West Ham, but I think that's his first major mistake all season.
Right, we
move
on because
I mean, realistically,
we've 10 more
I think there's not a goalkeeper in the world that doesn't make Henderson. Okay, all right. So we're going Mendy. Mendy, team goalkeeper of the season so far. Right. Okay, we'll move into the back four now. Right back.
This is just going to look bad for me.
For me, this was between two, to be honest. For me, I was stumped between Trent and Reece James, to be honest, and I went with Trent. Trent's my right back, to be honest. His assist record this season has been incredible as well.
Yeah,
7, I think.
Listen, I have to say, right, there is only two names that could be, realistically, there's only two names in the run-in for this, and that's Reece James and Trent. Like, there's others you could say, they're having a good season, but Trent, Alexander-Arnold and Reece James are the two best right-backs in the Premier League at the moment. And Trent is, as a player, just head and shoulders above Reece James. Like, Reece James is having a great season, but Trent is reinventing the role of a right back in world football.
All he can do
is
an
outrageous talent. Like, it's ridiculous.
To save disrespect.
He's basically he's like a fucking midfield. No, that's a lie. It's a complete lie.
Oh,
he's changed the sport. That's what Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to change that statement back, because that is ridiculous.
He's doing it. No. Listen, I don't do ifs, buts, or maybes. All right, I only deal in absolutes.
I did go with James personally,
is
because I think
1 for 1.
Apparently, Trent is head and shoulders above Reece James, but all he can do is run and cross. And I'm not saying that all he does is stick the ball in and hope for the best. He's a fantastic crosser of a ball. And he's good at fucking finding space and making space up front. But when it comes to coming back, I think he's a bang average defender. And I think that his best trait is going forward and crossing the ball and being an attacking right back. Like a right wing back, if anything. But I would say that that's where he beats James, because James has a good cross of a ball. But if I was to pick one person to put the ball in and get a decent cross in 9 times out of 10, I pick Trent over Reece. But I think Reece is a far better defender. He's a far better man marker, and he's far better with the ball at his feet in terms of like receiving it and doing something with it. That's just me personally. This season, but you're saying here that like you're talking about Trent you're changing the game, and we're incorporating.
He is. Your first mistake.
I'm saying he plays almost like a right wing back. Is what I was trying to say. I'm not saying that he is a wing back.
He doesn't. He actually plays more in the middle of the pitch than he does on the wings. It's all about underlapping runs with Liverpool. Robertson and Trent cut inside, and when Thiago and Henderson and Salah are playing on that right side, Trent is in the center of the pitch more often than he's outside. He only plays as a midfielder sometimes, and it's not just curlers into the box. That man pings passes all across the pitch, and if he's that bad of a defender, he wouldn't be consistently the number one right back in the team sheet in the best defense in the league.
Liverpool.
That statement is
point proven.
James Milner.
He has absolutely no competition to right back in that team.
Right, on the centre backs, because Adam, I'm sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
Trent has got the.
But I just don't accept that statement that he's head and shoulders above Reece James.
Trent, no, to be fair, Reece James has been unbelievable this season.
Centre back,
a great season. Fair play to him. Centre halves. We got. Do we do 1 for 1 or do we go 2 for 2? Or what are we doing?
Throw two centre backs together. So mine are.
Okay, all right. One each. Throw out something.
I picked Rudiger and Ruben
I
Diaz.
picked the exact same two. Rudiger and Diaz. And I had a backup in case we changed formation like last minute, but I picked Rudiger and Diaz as well.
Wow.
I picked Matip and Van Dijk.
I didn't pick either of them. To be honest with you. No, I actually didn't. I didn't. I genuinely didn't. I picked first one. What I picked was Thiago Silva. I went Thiago Silva over Rudiger, to be honest. Because honestly, the fact that he's 97 years of age and he's still this good is just outrageous. He was when Chelsea signed him on a free, I remember thinking that's ridiculous. He's going to play like 6 games a season and just be
experience.
He's only there to get to talk to the young lads and stuff. Like, he's not really going to play. He's been a fucking mountain.
That's the only reason I didn't include him is because he's
been brilliant this season.
Playing. Because of his age, they take him out and they rotate him with Christensen a lot. So I think that it wasn't fair to pick him over Rudiger, who's like there 95% of the time.
Who was your other pick on?
Yeah, that's fair. This one, I'll be honest, centre half was tough for me. This was probably I think this was like the hardest one. So I went with I picked this player. I'm not necessarily saying he does deserve team of the season, but I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to shout out him and his team. I went with Pontus Janssen.
Fantastic.
Because I think Brentford have been... I think Brentford are having a great season. Like, I know they're 10th or whatever, but realistically, whoever thought Brentford would be in that position? They've been strong defensively, and I think Pontus Janssen playing centre half for them is a big part of that. I think he's been... I'm not... Realistically, he's not going to get in the team over... Like, he's not a better defender than Ruben Diaz.
For the season he's having,
But Brentford are having a really good season. And just to give them a little bit of a chat, they've been really good. Like, I mean, they've surprised a lot of teams this season, Liverpool included, and they hammered Arsenal on the first day of the season. I think they've been good. I think United are lucky that they might not have to play them tomorrow night.
I don't know what story is it that yet. They still haven't decided, or they still haven't announced it anyway. So
yeah,
has to go ahead at this stage. They can't cancel it. Fans are traveling over tonight and stuff. They can't cancel it now. Would
United not want to cancel since they haven't been able to train?
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, they haven't been able to train. They didn't train today and stuff. Like, so if we go up there, we could end up getting bet like under circumstances and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But the two is going to be then. It is going to be Rudiger and Diaz. Yeah. Because Owen is 2-1 on that. But
Rudiger, Tony Rudiger and Ruben Diaz are our centre half partnership. Left back,
Cancelo.
Adam, what we saying?
I think he's had a very good season. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I went through a lot of the highlights from City's games because I don't know anything about City because I really don't pay attention to them. I only check if they win or if they lose because they're at the top. But that's what I mean. I had to change it because I went and I watched a lot. I went through the Sky Sports page and I went and watched back a lot of City's highlights and kind of like a common feature for defensively. And then with that pass he did 2 weeks ago, it's hard not to include him in that. And that's why I just went for him at left back. Yeah. I like him as well. He's a decent player.
It was interesting because Shane, me and you were talking about this.
I looked it up as well because
before
right
I picked him,
I wanted to check.
I think he's bored.
I don't know.
He's bored.
Yeah, I think he's going back through the fixtures and the team sheets. I think he has played a lot more at left back this season.
Apparently, Pep
for City, but he has also played right back. Yeah, and now the last 2 games, I think he's gone Zinchenko at left back and Cancelo at right back because Kyle Walker is muck. Yeah. But yeah, he's Cancelo. I went Cancelo as well. To be honest, I think he's had an outstanding season. He's a brilliant player. I think I was looking at some mad stat. I think he has more. I think he has more touches of the ball than any other player in that City team.
Yeah, I've seen that stat.
The kind of a lot of it goes through him there. Don't fact check me. I could be wrong, but he's definitely
online now. On everything's from fact check. I went with Aaron Creswell because he's been immense this season.
Yeah, probably
for left back.
Yeah. Creswell. Yeah, I was thinking about him as well. To be honest, I think West Ham are just having a brilliant season. They're having a brilliant
2 seasons, the last few years.
Since David Moyes went back to the club, the last 2 years they've been great. Yeah, Cresswell is a shout, to be honest, but I think
I was originally going to say Chilwell, but he's been dead for the last 3 weeks, so I couldn't include him.
Any opportunity?
Yeah, I thought about him. The player I wanted to give a shout out here though is Nuri at Wolves. I think I was watching Wolves. I watched Wolves the last couple of games. Oh wait, we played them and then they were playing City. I watched them against City and he played this Nuri. He's French. He's only 20 years of age and he looks like he could be a serious player.
Yeah, he's absolutely class.
Now, listen, as I said, I've only watched him in like 2 or 3 games.
But
he looks like he's going to be a class player, to be fair.
That's it.
Well, there you go.
He's a world
beater. That's a sure sign he's going to be a world beater. Like,
I did a Solskjaer on it.
He does look a talent, though. Like, he looks good, like. So, like, Wolves have been good at the back as well, and I think he's
doing bits.
For 20 years of age, he's doing well.
Cresswell,
I'd say definitely it's Cancelo and then probably.
Cancelo then is your left back.
Cresswell.
Type it in.
Cresswell is in.
Get her done.
Close. Cancelo.
Midfield now, I think it's going to be an interesting one as well.
Okay. Allow me to reintroduce myself. This actually, when I said earlier there was one position that people were going to have a row over, I didn't mean right back. I meant CDM. Okay.
No.
It's Fabinho. Fabinho has been the best defensive midfielder in the league this season.
Yeah, but stats.
And the stats.
You can't stat pad everything, like.
No.
It's not stat padding. No. The stats exist. Oh, I'm assuming you're gone Kante.
I went with Declan Rice.
Who'd you go?
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice has been so consistent this season. It's unbelievable. And like even against Chelsea, it was just like impossible to get by him. Like any of the goals we scored, we had to go out wide because anytime we went through the middle, you're just not getting past him. And like he's just overall, I think.
And he's playing CDM like in a good West Ham team, but like not an incredible Liverpool team, a brilliant Chelsea team, an unreal Man City team. Like he's playing that role, which is one of the toughest roles on the pitch for West Ham. He has hands down Declan Rice.
All right. Well, have to say, I was
Declan
expecting a Fabinho versus Kante argument. I didn't come prepared for a Declan Rice thrown into the mix.
In there because he's
that's fine.
Injured so much this season, and like when he plays, he is fantastic and he's one of the best in his role. But I have to say, like Declan Rice has done it week in, week out, and you can't take it away from him. He's a fantastic player, and I really hope he fucking keeps twerking for Chelsea and we sign him in the summer, because I would love to have him.
Really, I hate
That's just
this.
because he picked England.
I hate
over
the sight
Ireland.
like.
But like you can't like. But you're turning around and telling me that
exactly
Fabinho left in the morning and you wouldn't
prick.
take Declan Rice to replace him. I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Anywhere near my
take
club.
him in the morning.
No, I probably would. I wouldn't give a shit. I actually wouldn't give a shit. Yeah, he's a fantastic player. Just sour that he chose to play for England. That's all. Okay. So Declan Rice then. That was an easy one. Declan Rice straight in there. We have the rest of our midfield then, I suppose, to go into this.
So I'd say we'll do the same as the centre backs. Just throw out the two we picked because we could have the same picked. But
okay.
I'll throw in mine, which I went with Gallagher from Palace and Bernardo.
I actually forgot about him.
City.
And if I'd have remembered that, I would have picked differently.
Bernardo?
I picked Gallagher and Mount.
Who did you pick?
But I would have said Bernardo.
I picked Gallagher
Obviously,
and
I'm
Mount.
not going to change it now because I went with it. But I would have went with Bernardo if that had actually come into my mind.
Money Mason.
Money Mason.
Money Mason.
I thought about it. I actually like Gallagher was nail on for me. I think he's been incredible for Crystal Palace this season. And then the debate was Bernardo Silva over Mason Mount, and I think Mason Mount has. See, I don't know. It's a weird one. It probably comes down to preference. Like Bernardo Silva has played more than Mason Mount, but Mason Mount has played better. I don't know. I went Mason Mount again. It might also be because he's been
consistent,
class the last couple of games.
I actually would. To be fair, I'd actually argue that he hasn't been decent.
Yeah, he's a good little player. Like
he's actually been pretty disappointing. I think his goal, like,
I can't believe you're putting Mason Mount in instead of Silva. To be honest.
I mean, yeah. Well, like with me, I didn't think of it. To be honest,
like
I would have considered Silva more of a forward. No.
That's who it can. I'll be honest with you. Do you know, in my brain, Bernardo Silva is.
I always consider him a forward
for some reason. I don't know why. I know he plays like alongside De Bruyne or whatever for City, but for some reason my brain always goes, "Hey, he's a winger. He's a Portuguese winger, Bernardo Silva." He doesn't really play there for. But yeah, no, it did. It was Mason Mount or Bernardo Silva for me. And I don't know. Mason Mount. TBH.
Well, they're two were so it's what Mason Mount and Gallagher then.
Talent. So Conor Gallagher, and
future
Mason Mount and
three.
Declan Rice. Probably maybe Chelsea's midfield in 2 years. Chelsea's whole midfield in the next
the front three is so cut and dry for me.
Okay, so
it actually it was the first three I went to when I wrote it in. When I went straight up to the top three and I wrote it in. I went Mane on the left, Ronaldo up front, and Salah on the right.
Okay, go on.
Who?
I went Mane, Ronaldo, and Salah. Salah.
I had one of those.
Yeah, I had.
To be honest.
Well, Salah, to be fair, Salah's best player in the world at the moment, so he was obviously going to make it into that. But
Salah is, I think we just write.
It's a given.
We'll just write Salah in.
If anybody disagrees, they're morons.
It's just unbelievable. There's no way he's not getting in the team. Like it's just there's nobody, like, you don't have a brain if you can't look at what Mo Salah's done this season and not think he's. Yeah, I mean the only other person you could argue against is maybe Lewandowski over the last year, but it's Salah's just an outrageous footballer. Like, the other two, I didn't go Mane at all. I think Mane's been fucking shite this season, to be honest with you. He's not him. Like, as somebody who's watched him in every game this season, he's so frustrating.
Has he not got 7 goals and assists or a couple of assists and 7 goals or something like that this season? He
has, but that's the way Liverpool have been playing this season. Like, the amount of chances, Salah alone has. Salah, I think I was looking at it last night. The most shots of players in the Premier League, Salah has taken 65 shots at goal this season, and then the second below that is Mane, and he's 15 shots less than Salah. He's on 50 or something. So it's like the amount of chances and shit we create, that Liverpool front three create, they're all bound to score. If I was going with a Liverpool player, I would have gone Diogo Jota over Mane. I think he's been a lot better than Mane. Maybe it's probably just because I've seen Mane can play better than
he should play better
right now. So it's kind of, I'm looking at him going, he's dropped off. He could be better, but then I don't know. He's playing alongside Salah as well, so it's hard to look good standing next to him. Who did you pick, Shane?
I picked Salah. I picked Smith Rowe, and then I was thrown up between Antonio and Ronaldo, but I gave it to the GOAT.
I had Smith Rowe on my team as well. I had him down purely because he's everywhere. You go Arsenal play and everybody's talking about Smith Rowe. And then you watch the Arsenal highlights and it's just they seem to centre that team around him at this stage.
Yeah. I haven't watched Arsenal at all.
He's been great. And that's
I haven't.
Arsenal have been very patchy this season. I think they went 7 or 8 games unbeaten before they got beat by United and then lost against Everton, I think it was. But he has been really, really good, and I just thought throw him in there because he's playing not a great Arsenal team either.
It's a very poor Arsenal team.
Yeah, that's fair. Very poor Arsenal team. I went with a Mikel Antonio up top. Jared Bowen. Remember Jared Bowen? He's been fucking.
Yeah.
I think he's been the best player
Played class against
in that
Chelsea.
West Ham team this season. To be honest,
He was unbelievable against Chelsea.
Yeah, he's like, it's like watching him this season. I can see why he's been linked with a move to Liverpool. Like that, apparently Klopp is interested in because he looks a player. Like I think he's been phenomenal. Antonio, like I don't know, I think he's dropped off recently. Like he'd had a blinder to the start of the season.
Yeah, that's where he lost out for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just went with Antonio. And
I know,
fair,
like Ronaldo's I think 7 goals and an assist or 2 assists in the Premier League at the minute, but like in the worst coach team in the Premier League, like the worst probably team there in the Premier League for a lot of the season so far. Like so, I think and people have just thrown the blame onto him for something that 37-year-old. No, for me that's why I put him in. Like Antonio would have had it if his last month hasn't been great. Antonio, like he has dropped off levels, but to be honest, there wasn't much. There's not much competition up top there. Like if you want to look at outstanding, like I was kind of thinking Lukaku at the start of the season, I would have. Kane hasn't been good. Like so, strikers. There's no massive standout. Striker was the toughest. It was the hardest position for me to pick. I think, to be honest with you, I sat looking at striker for a while. It's interesting. None of us have said Jamie Vardy, and he's the second highest scorer in the league
because he's not like I don't think he's still a consistent goal scorer. But I don't think he's as pivotal to Leicester anymore as he was, like the year they won the league. Like he was back defending, he was in the midfield, he was getting the ball and he was doing more with it. Now it's more, let's lump it up to Vardy and see what he does. He gets like a through ball and he'll score, or he'll take the ball and run and score. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure he just scores from crosses or through balls. He is still very good, but I wouldn't say he's as good as he used to be.
But we need to. So Ronaldo goes up top.
No, that's true.
Because that's 2-1.
So it's Ronaldo up top, yeah, and then
we all had 3 different.
We have a three different there. So
we have 3 different players. So it's Jared Bowen, Emile Smith Rowe.
I had Mane.
And
Mane.
Who's third?
I'd be willing to change my vote to Smith Rowe, to be honest. Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't. I concede it to you.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't really seen it. I haven't watched enough of Emile Smith Rowe at all. To be honest with you,
manager of the season.
To be honest with you, I thought he was a midfielder.
I think there's a slight delay on my end here.
I think
there's like 2 or 3 seconds, so if I'm cutting over you, apologies.
All good. So there's our team. Yeah, manager of the season. I mean, there's only
there's
just one name in it, really, isn't there?
Yeah, David
Moyes. Anyone says otherwise,
anyone else? It's David Moyes.
We're fighting. Like
man is doing.
It's David Moyes. It has to be David Moyes.
Absolutely.
God.
I'm just so happy to see him back where he was, because the man was ruined after United. And I don't think, like everyone says, he should have got more time at United. He shouldn't have got more time at United.
Yeah.
He should have got back to United. He didn't get back to United. He didn't produce what he did in the 6 months. We were shocked when we finished 7th, I think. Like, he didn't do the job he was going in, but he wasn't backed either. So I don't say that he should have got longer, because I don't think he should have. But he should have been backed. If you're going to bring in a manager, you back him. Like, he wasn't backed financially at all. And I think there was too many...
Yeah. I think all credit to Moyes as well though for this, because like I mean obviously I know he had other jobs after leaving United. Like he didn't go straight to West Ham or anything, but like he put in the work. Like he said it in interviews and shit that like he studied like football and shit for like 2 years after leaving United to trying to like get himself back up to the
man
level
became a meme
of like I suppose maybe what he was that he wanted to be at or that he could be
the
at.
man became a meme. That picture of him at
I think for just
went to Real Sociedad then had an awful time there, and people just wrote him off. He got the West Ham job on a part-time I think interim at the end of the season, and he was laughed at. Like he came back from the grave, and I think it's just fair fucking play to him. Like, he was literally dead and buried.
Big D Moyes.
Yeah, big ups.
Moisey.
Moisey. Big up Moisey. Would you would any's take him now?
I think certain managers have certain levels, to be honest, and I think Moyes is a brilliant top top from 5th to probably 9th team.
He's
manager, like.
Yeah, I think he enjoys taking probably like a mid-table 9th to 10th place team and like
it's
pushing him
expectations,
to
like, you know,
Europe kind of thing. Like it's he's because I mean, you know, realistically, this West Ham team they're not going to win the Premier League.
No, but I wouldn't write him off winning the Europa League. To be honest,
shout, to be fair.
The job he's doing.
They topped their group as well.
Yeah,
pretty easily.
They've
They did. The only thing is Dortmund are in that now, and I don't know, like, if they'll take that seriously.
Barcelona are also in.
Haaland, like, in Europa League, will absolutely smash goals.
Well, there it is. We've done it.
That wasn't.
We'll save them for later episodes.
As much as I thought we were going to.
Yeah. To recap then for everyone, our team of the Premier League season so far: in goal, Mendy, Chelsea; right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool; centre half partnership, Ruben Diaz of Manchester City and Tony Rudiger of Chelsea; left back, Cancelo, Manchester City; CDM, Declan Rice of West Ham; midfield partnership of Mason Mount of Chelsea and Conor Gallagher of Crystal Palace / on loan from Chelsea; right wing, Mo Salah; left wing, Emile Smith-Rowe of Arsenal; and up on his ones up top, Cristiano Ronaldo, with David Moyes in the dugout. It's not a bad team. It's not a bad fucking team, really. That is
No,
it. Like,
it's not.
Jesus
There's
Christ,
there's
throw that together.
Players though that you wouldn't try putting there at the start of the season. To be fair, like,
definitely not Smith Rowe anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Conor Gallagher either. I don't think anybody would have mentioned at the start of the season. Like, I think there's a couple. Yeah, it's a good. So well, there you have it, lads. We've done our team of the season. We'll post our combined team and maybe our individual teams on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and you can let us know what you guys think in the comments or shout it out at us. Who's in your team of the season so far? Is there anyone we missed? Anyone we should have had in? Anyone you think, what the fuck is he doing in your team? Maybe there's a couple of them. Let us know, and I think that's our first episode of First Time Ball in the bag. We'll be sticking this out. It'll be available on Spotify and all them other places, and we'll be back real soon for maybe some little shorter snippets of reactions to all the matches happening over this busy Christmas period, provided
fingers
they're
crossed
cancelled because of COVID, which might happen, and it would be just our luck to start a podcast talking about Premier League football, and then the league goes on a break. So maybe we'll be back doing more of these teams of the season. Listen, thanks for chatting.
Pleasure, boys.
Thanks, lads. Been good.
See you in the next one.
Thanks anyone that listens. I will chat to you all in the next one.